Hey everybody, this is Gary with the Agro Tank. We also have JT here on a side camera so we can catch some excellent shots of our new unboxing video. We're going to do Dust Tactics today because last time we did a game related video I said that Tannhauser was a World War II game, of which it wasn't, so today we're going to do an actual World War II game. So we're just going to bust into this here, start taking the shrink off. Dust Tactics is a tactical miniatures game in the world of Dust, which is a fantasy war IP owned by Fantasy Flight. And the first thing you get when you open the box is the rule book, the instruction manual. It tells you the rules of play. The second thing you get is a scenario book for Victory Bridge. This is the revised edition that comes with Victory Bridge. If you have the original Dust Tactics box, which we could not find at the store, it came with a separate scenario book called, I believe, Blue Thunder, which my bro Gorka has, and hopefully at some point soon we'll get to see some of the scenarios from that book. It also comes with 2 fold-out maps. The fold-out maps are pretty nice. If you play games kind of like Hero Clicks or Star Wars Minis, or even the new Dungeons & Dragons box sets, they have maps very similar to this. The way that the maps actually work, it's kind of cool. I'm not going to get too much into how the game plays right now, but in the center of each of these squares, there's a dot, and you trace line of sight from dot to dot. Like if one unit is here, and you can draw a line to another dot, they have line of sight in to that unit. The next thing in the box is a piece of cardboard, I guess used as separating material. And then we have our unit cards, which they're kind of glary, but the unit cards are...
They show a bit on the camera.
Great. Just it tells you the stat lines for the weapons that your unit has, how much health they have, how fast they move, how many people are in their unit when they join a unit, what level they are. Like these are level 3 men, so if you were making an attack against them, you would look at the person who's attacking weapon line, it'd be the 3rd level of man, and then you would go down the line. You would roll that many dice. For example, let's say that Lara is firing on a level 3 man. First they would use the 44 machine gun, and you look here, they would roll 3 dice, and 1 success would be 1 damage. Then they would use their second 44 machine gun because they have 2 hands of the same weapon, and it would do the same thing. Then they could use their combat knife, which is a close quarters weapon denoted by the C. It can only be used on an adjacent figure, and they would roll 1 die, but it would do 1 damage as well. The thing is, they also have they can do some weapons against tanks, and in the airplane line over here, his machine guns are good enough to be used against aircraft, which is kind of really neat. There aren't any aircraft in the game right now, but in some soon expansions they plan on having them. Now, if you get to peek inside the actual box here, which there's some pretty cool stuff in here. There's 2 cardboard boxes of which they control the troop miniatures. Then outside of that, we have an American walker and a German walker with addable weapons. We have some tiles to create terrain on our maps. We have some soft cover, which is like a cargo crate or an ammo crate. This says the US on it. The other one, I guess, is German. It doesn't say anything on it at all, but it has box rivets, so I'm going to say that it's German. That's another thing I really like about this game, is just the attention to detail. The German models, like mechanical models, have box rivets, which is what they used when they were making machines during that era. And this is the hardcover. They're like broken cement pylons. And then the Dust dice, which I think are very cool. The entire system runs off an odd scale where you have a 1/3 chance of success most of the time. So 2 out of the 6 sides of each die are a crosshair. That's a success. And then if I open these boxes, we have all the different units bagged and separated. Pull out a render, which this guy has power fists. We'll get a good shot of him. on the side camera. Now, you can paint these.
Hold them back up.
I'm going to paint these at some point in the future, but they're primed out of the box, which is kind of really nice. Also, this model doesn't appear to do it, but a lot of their models actually can rotate. In fact, here's one that rotates. Just he's a standard like trooper type character. And if you like painting miniatures, you know it can be a pain in the ass. But this guy can actually rotate around any way you want him to, so you can hit every nook and cranny without worrying about moving the model all sorts of stupid ways. I'm going to pull out these walkers real quick so you can see like the amount of detail that goes onto them. Like they already have, the German models are primed to gray, and they already have some decals on the front and rear of the models. American Walker is the same thing. Decals, U.S. Army sign. Really high quality, very high detail, much better than I expected from Fantasy Flight. The Tannhauser miniatures are kind of not that great. They're painted nicely, as nicely as a machine paints them. But I kind of enjoy painting my own pieces. So this is kind of like a little bonus for me. So now I've put this German figure together.
Metal Gear.
And it's a Metal Gear. It has a missile launcher and a machine gun on this side. And, it can look around, it can rotate. It has several points of articulation, which you don't normally expect in a miniatures game. Normally there are 0 points of articulation. Now there's also a loaded token, which I think is used for some of the scenario-based games. Because you can play this as like a point-based game where you each build your own teams, or you can play it as a scenario-based game where you're trying to complete objectives. And they made this kind of hard to stick these damn things into the holes because I'm trying to put it on the wrong side.
Easy.
At least I thought I was. That I believe that this weapon right here is the American equivalent of the laser, the phaser, which rolls extra dice worth of success. It's also very possible that I put them on backwards and it's just a machine gun. So I'm gonna find its unit card so I can know what the hell it looks like. Because I know that I have heavy laser grenadiers in this box for the German side. I'm not sure what I have for the Americans. Hans is this terrifying weapon. And on the American side,
Franz.
I have blackmail. Which they are. I did in fact put it on the right way. They're just hard to snap in, and that's kind of good because I could paint them separately so I could get into the nooks and crannies even better. But for now, I'll just break my model. Whatever, I'll do that later. But we'll stop here and then we'll come back and we'll go over some of the rules to the game, how to play, how cover works, and then we'll get underway and you'll get to see some dust figures in action.